So, good morning. Let me first start off with a question. Let me ask you all, why are you here? And I don't want you the answer to be because you're here to play basketball or because you were told to get up early in the morning and come out here and everything. No. The question is, why are you? What is it that you're really expecting to accomplish? I'm sure that the overall answer is that you all want to be successful, but whatever it is that you're going to be doing, right? Who here does not want to be successful? Okay, that's what I was thinking. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. How many of you are planning to go right into college when you graduate from high school? Okay, put your hands down. How many, by show of hands, how many of you are going to go get a job when you graduate from high school? Okay, and who thinks they may want to go into the military when they graduate? Okay, fine. Whatever your answers are, again, those are your personal answers, your personal reasons, and that's great. Whatever it is you want to do, you want to make sure that you're going to be successful at it. And I'm going to help you to become successful at it, right? First, let's each of you think of someone who you believe is being successful. Right? Just get that person in your mind who you think is successful, whether it's an entertainer, an athlete, a parent, coach, whatever. Okay? Each of you is going to have somebody slightly different. I don't think all of you are going to be thinking of the same person. But so each of you are going to have somebody slightly different. But I'm willing to bet that all the people that you have in mind have the same two things in common. They had desire and they had know-how. They had desire, that drive, that internal motivation to become whatever it is they wanted to be. And they had know-how. They had a plan to make it happen. Now, of course, I can't give you desire. That comes from within. You have to want to become successful. But what I can help you with is developing your plan on how to get there. And that's what you have in front of you today. So what you have there is your plan, your path to develop your personal success strategic plan. And there are 6 steps to it. So if you turn to page 2, open to page 2. Bless you. You'll see all the steps. So the first step, obviously, is to determine your destination. Where is it that you actually want to end up? So for some of you, it's to get a career. For others, it's to go directly into college. Some others, it may be somewhere further down the line. You may be thinking 20, 30 years from now, not just within the next few months. Identify your purpose. Why is it that you want that particular destination? What is it about that makes you want to go there? What is it about you that makes you think that that's a good destination for you? Then you set up some goals. What are the steps that you need to take in order to get there? What are the strategies? What's the plan you're going to put in place to achieve your goals? And then once you get your plan together, take action. Actually put the plan into motion. And then evaluate your progress. Have checkpoints along the way to make sure you know exactly where it is that you're going. Make sure you're still on track to get there. Because we don't know. The journey of 1,000 miles, begins with the first step. So you have to take that first step. And this is what is going to happen. So when we start thinking about your destination, thinking about that meaning of success, each of you is going to have a completely different definition of what success is. And that's fine. Because success is personal. So when you develop your plan, it's going to be your plan, not the person sitting next to you, not the person sitting behind you. It's going to be your plan of action, your plan of success. It's going to help you no matter what it is that you want to do. So what you see here now is if you want to go, again, going into particular careers. This is just a sampling of some of the different careers that are out there. Okay, so let's pick one of these to zoom in on. Let's say you want to be an athletic trainer. Okay, so for the most part, right now there are probably just about a little over 16,000 athletic trainers in the country. In order to be one, you need to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree, minimum of a 4-year degree. Starting salary is about $25,000, $26,000. But then the average salary is about $44,000. And then, of course, with experience, it goes up. So you can make upwards of $64,000, $65,000. And those are averages. Some people make more than that if they get signed on to a particular team. Others may make a little bit less than that if they're part of a college or even a high school. So it all depends on where they're actually working that will determine what their salary is. But the good thing is it's projected to grow, that field is projected to grow by 37% within the next couple of years. So by the time you're actually ready to go into that particular profession, there'll be a lot more jobs available, and probably the salaries will even be higher as well. Bless you. So when it comes to, you can do this on your own as well. So whatever career that you may have in mind, you can do the research. Find out how many people are currently in the field. Find out what the educational requirement is to get in it and what the salary structure is so that you can equip yourself ahead of time so you'll know exactly what it is you need to do in order to get to that point when your time is ready. Once you have your destination in mind, now it's time to set your purpose. Why is it that you want to get there? What is it about that thing? So you want to determine who you are. And when we say who you are, it's not just your name, your social security number, and your place of birth or where you live. It's basically, what are you all about? And we'll get into more about that. What is it that you want? Where are you going? How will you get there? And more importantly, what will you do when you get there? Because a lot of people have the destination in mind, and they may even get to their ultimate goal, but they don't know, now that they got it, okay, what do we do? Right? It's like the dog that's always chasing cars. Okay, what is he going to do once he catches one? He didn't think that far ahead, he doesn't know. So you have to think about that. What is it you're going to do when you actually get to your ultimate destination? So when we start thinking about purpose, you want to start thinking about it in terms of these things. Building a personal philosophy. And you all have one. You may not know exactly what that philosophy is, but you have one. Things that you believe in. What is it? Your legacy statement. When you look at a tombstone, what are some of the things that you see on a tombstone? Other than the name, what comes next? The years. What are the years? What are the dates? What are those dates? They were born and they died. And then what's that thing in the middle? It's usually a little dash. Exactly, that represents their life. So is that dash, that's your legacy. What is that dash going to say about you? Or what do you want people to say about you after you've passed? That's your legacy. Your mission statement. What is it that you want to achieve? Now, you may think, okay, don't only companies have mission statements? Well, that's not true. All of you have a mission, or you should have a mission statement. It's how you project yourself to the public. Because you have a brand. You are a brand. The same way that companies are a brand, you are a brand. You have to figure out how is it that you want other people to see you. So if I were to give you a company, you give me their slogan. Nike. Okay. McDonald's. Okay, you got it. Red Robin. Okay. See, you all know this. Why? Because companies spend millions of dollars every year trying to figure out ways to help you remember them. And so that either you or people you know will go buy their products or you go shop in their restaurants. So you have to figure out a way to make people remember you in a positive way. That's your brand. So if I were to ask each and every one of you right now to come up with 5 words, just 5 words that you feel describe you or that you would use to describe yourself. Don't say them out, just kind of think of them. The 5 words that you would use to describe yourself. Now, if I were to go talk to people who know you, your family members, your friends, your coaches, your teachers, would they use those same 5 words? If the answer is yes, then you've marketed yourself, you branded yourself well. If the answer is no, you have some work to do. So that's the barometer that you want to use. Your code of ethics. How are you going to live your life? And then finally, your core values. What are the things that are important to you? The things that you will not compromise on. Go on to the next page. On page 3, on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side rather, page 3, you're going to see these words. What I need you to do is take about 45 seconds, go through these words, and circle the 10 words that you feel apply to you. Who needs a pen? 10 words. Circle the 10 words you feel apply to you. You're welcome. Okay, you got your 10 words? Okay. Once you've circled those words, this is where the fun starts. Of the 10 words you just circled, I need you to cross off 5. Of the 10 words you just circled, cross out 5 of them. Choose any 5 of the 10 that you have that you circled. Choose which 5 you need to cross off. That's part of the exercise. Of the 5 you have remaining, cross off 3. I know by now you're probably thinking I'm very evil. I know. So right now you should have 2 words left. I won't be truly evil and tell you to choose one of them. I'll let you leave it at those 2. But here's what it tells you. And yes, it was a difficult task, right? Because choosing the first 10, okay, that's no big deal. But then now you have to get rid of some of those words because you feel those are words that apply to you. Those are words that describe you. So if now you got to get rid of 5 of them, what does that say? Well, it becomes difficult because those are your core values. Those are the things that you find very important about yourself, the things that you believe in the most. So that's why it gets more and more difficult to cross words off because those are the qualities about you that you really like about yourself and that you know that will help direct and guide all of your decisions. And that's how you have to think about this. These are your core values, the things that you will not compromise on. So no matter what happens, no matter what situation you're in, think back to, is this going against what I truly deep down inside believe? If it is, then you don't do it. It's not for you. If you feel uncomfortable about it, that's why they have these things called gut feelings. And that's usually the correct thing, the correct choice to make, because that's your core value speaking to you. So that's what you want to think about, and that's how you develop your purpose. Okay? So we know that successful people know what it is that they want, how they're going to get it, and why they want to get it. And you should have that information is actually on page 2 as well. Now, when we start thinking about what employers or even what schools, what colleges look for, there are several things that they all look for. One of the first things that they look for are your communication skills. How well can you actually speak and write? And we don't mean texting. Texting is not communication when it comes to as far as what they're looking for. They want to know that you can actually put essays together. You can put your ideas down on paper and it becomes clear. Organizational skills. How well are you organized? How well you keep things together? How many of you can relate to this particular scenario? You spend the last couple of nights hanging out with your friends and you get home late and everything. And so the next day you're getting ready to go to school. You wake up a little late, so you're rushing. And you get to school just before the late bell rings. You sit down in your seat and say, oh, man, I just made it. And then next thing you hear, the teacher says, okay, class, clear your desk and get ready for today's test. You're like, test? What test? I didn't know anything about no test. How many people have had that happen to them before? Okay. For those hands that didn't go up, maybe this scenario is more to your speed. You know that midterms are coming up. And so you decide, okay, I'm going to spend the next 3 weeks beforehand studying for this test because I want to do very well. So you study your heart out for 3 weeks, and the night before the test, you actually go to bed early, something you never do, so you can get a good night's sleep and wake up fresh. The next morning, you get up early, have breakfast, again, something you don't do, but you want to make sure your mind is sharp. So you get to school, you're ready to go. So I'm good, I'm ready. You sit down, only to find out the test is next Tuesday. Okay, well, the solution to both of those scenarios is being organized. How many of you have smartphones? Right? You have smartphones or you have tablets or things. Guess what they have on them? Calendars. Yeah, they have calendars. They have alarms. They have things that you can set so that you can stay organized. So you plug in all of your appointments so that you make sure you know when everything's coming up. And if you need something else, they have an app for that. So you download the appropriate app and make sure that you stay organized. These organizational skills are key if you want to get into a good school or get a good career. Leadership. Just by nature of you all playing together on a team, it shows you is how you develop your leadership skills. And schools and employers want to know that. They want to know how you develop those skills. How well do you all work together? Logic. How smart are you? So your GPA becomes important. Schools are going to look at how high your GPA is, or in some cases, how low it is. And they're going to use that as a barometer as far as how smart you are and how well you'll be able to handle the rigors of college or the workforce. So you want to know those things. Your effort. How hard do you work? Are you the type of person that's going to be gung-ho and you're going to dive after every loose ball, or are you the type of person who's going to stand back and watch your teammates do all the work? That's the type of effort. They want to know what kind of effort you put in. Again, group skills. How well do you work with others? Even though you're going to basically get your grades individually, for the most part, you're still going to be evaluated on how well you work together with other people. Basically, how well do you play in the sandbox with other people? Whether you're people that you know, or in a lot of cases, people you don't know. So your group skills will be very important. And then finally, entrepreneurship. How many of you know what entrepreneurship means? What does it mean?
Isn't it when like you come up with something new?
Okay, that's part of it. Somebody else said, well, that's another part of starting your own business, coming up with something new and innovative, but it doesn't always have to be. Those are things, yes, the skills that they're looking for are those where you are a self-starter. Somebody who can do things without having somebody on top of them all the time. So if you're given a task, an employer doesn't want to have to be on top of you, giving you step-by-step instructions on how to get that task done. They want to know that you're going to be able to do that task on your own with very little instruction from them. That's what entrepreneurship is. That's what, as far as what this means. Now, who recognizes the little acronym in the on the side?
College.
Exactly. So even if you're not planning on going directly to college after high school, at some point in your lives, you realize that college is going to have to be in your plans, because that's where you develop all of those skills. Okay? Now, as we develop those skills, you want to start to set goals for yourself. Now you have your purpose. You want to set goals on how you get to your ultimate destination. On the bottom of page 2, you're going to see the acronym what SMART stands for. If you have, I'm sure some of you probably have heard SMART goals before, and so this won't be the first time, and it won't be the last time you hear it. But this is what SMART actually stands for: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. If you want to, you can actually write down these clarifying questions in the space in the box provided. So that, again, it gives you a clearer sense of what it means, what each one of those sections actually mean. Because if whatever your goal is, you want to make sure that it's specific enough, not something that's just overall broad. That so I just want to graduate from high school. Well, that's a goal, but it's not a specific goal. May want to narrow that down to saying that I want to graduate in the top 15% of my class. That's a more specific goal. Is it measurable? How can you measure your progress? So if you're in the top 15%, how are you going to get to measure that? That's something that is measurable. You can actually rank yourself or find out what your ranking is as you go through marking period by marking period. Is it something attainable? Is it something that's within your reach? Are you the type of person who has the GPA that's high enough to be within that top 15%? Or is it something that you're going to have to work towards? Is your goal relevant to your ultimate destination? And of course, is it time bound? What's your overall deadline, or do you have a deadline? Some people would say, again, I just want to be successful. Well, what does that really mean? And again, there's no time frame associated with that. So you want to make sure you have a time frame with all of that. So all of these things together make up your SMART goal. Now, of course, after you develop your goal, you then need to have strategies to come up with those goals or to meet those goals. And on the middle of page 3, you have some examples there as far as a couple of strategies. And then you can fill in later on, you can fill in what a particular, or you have goals, and then you can fill in what the strategy may be to accomplish that goal. But of course, the best strategy you can develop for anything is your time management. Now, I know it's Sunday. It's a little early on a Sunday for some of you, but I'm going to have you do a little mental math. It won't be that difficult, I promise you. Question, how many hours are there in a week? Nope. Close. Correct. That's what I said, close. 168 hours in a week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 7 times 24 gives you 168. Okay, so now, if I were to also ask you, what is your most valuable commodity? What is your most valuable possession? Well, aside from your cell phone, what would you tell me?
My safe.
Your safe? Yeah. Okay. You have a necklace? Okay. So those are all material things. But I'm going to tell you that your most valuable commodity is actually your time. Well, that's not a commodity, though. But your time is your most valuable asset. Because once you spend it, you can't get it back. So now, let's equate time with money. So that we start making things a little bit easier, a little simpler for you. Okay? So, for every hour in a week, and I need a volunteer real quick. Come on up. Your hand went up. Let's go. It's too late. Let's go. Too late. Okay. So we have 168 hours in a week. So for every hour, come here. What's your name? Laurie? Lauren. Lauren. You keep changing it. Lauren. Okay, Lauren. Okay, so you didn't say that the first time. Sorry. Okay. Well, Lauren is up here. She's going to demonstrate for us. So for every hour there is in a week, I'm going to give Lauren $1. So again, we have 168 hours in a week, so that's how much money? $168, right? Here you go. You didn't think I was giving her real money, did you? You didn't think I was giving her real money, did you? Come on.
I have to count it?
You shouldn't have to count it. It's all there, trust me. Now, of that, you should have 8 20s. And she's actually counting it. Okay, so now of that time, how many hours are you supposed to sleep a day?
8.
Okay, let's say 8. We'll say 8 hours a day. And in a week, how many is that?
56.
Okay, 56. Very good. So now, but I'm a nice guy, so I'm going to say you get a little extra hours on the weekends. So we're going to bump that up to 60. Okay, so for 60 hours a week, you're sleeping. So that's $60 you have to pay me. Now we're showing you how you spend your money. Okay. So that's 60 hours. Now, you're going to be in school. Once you get to college, you're going to be in school about 15 hours a week. And then, but then you have to also travel to and from. So let's add another 5 for that. So that's 20 hours a week for school, right? So that's $20. You're going to also have a part-time job while you're in school. Trust me. Everybody who went to college, well, most people that I know anyway who went to college had a part-time job. So that's going to be another 20 hours a week for work. Thank you very much. Okay. But again, I'm fair. Let's say you get everything done that you need to on Monday through Thursday. Right? So that means you left the weekend to do whatever you want to do. So we're going to give you 20 hours for fun. 20 hours to do whatever you want. So that's $20.
I thought you gave
No, because you have to. No, because you still have to spend. You're spending that time. So that's $20. Thank you. Now, of course, we all want to be successful, correct? So in order for us to be successful, for every hour you spend in school, you need to spend 2 hours studying. So again, if you're in class for 15 hours, you're going to be spending twice that studying. How many is that?
30.
That's 30 hours a week for studying. But you're going to probably also be part of clubs. You're going to be part of some clubs or organizations, maybe even part of a team. So that's about another 10 hours. So you figure 40 hours for $40 for studying and for clubs. Thank you very much. So you know what? You've actually done pretty well. Out of the week, you've slept, you've gotten to school, you got into work, you've had some fun, and you've gotten your studies done. And you still have time left over, right? Oh, but you know what? I just remembered. If Lauren is just like the typical 18 to 24-year-old, she's going to spend about anywhere from 26 to 29 hours a week online, whether it's just surfing the internet or checking social media, what have you. So that's another $26. Oh, you don't have $26, do you? All right, sorry, that means now you owe me money. All right, well, let's give Lauren a round of applause for being so brave up here. Thank you. But what that shows you, what that goes to show you is you need to figure out how you're going to divide your time each week. Because there are going to be some things that you may not be able to do because you just don't have enough time in the week to get it all done. So you figure out what you're going to prioritize in order to get all of the things done that you need to get done and use that 168 hours correctly. Okay, so now you have your plan together. Now we need to actually put it in motion and take action. And how do we do that? Well, first you establish a positive attitude and you motivate yourself and you work hard. The only time that success comes before work is in the dictionary. So you have to put in the work if you want to be successful. And you want to develop some affirmations for yourself, some positive affirmations. And I'm sure you've probably heard some that other people have given to you or said that you can use, but they haven't stuck. And why haven't they stuck? Because they're not personal. They're not anything that relates to you directly. So all I'm going to do is give you the starters. I am, I can, and I will. And I want you to repeat after me on these. I am, I can, I will. So I am is a statement of who you are. So you come up with a positive adjective that describes you. I can is a statement of your potential. What is it that you have the ability to do? And then the I will, it speaks to what you plan on changing, with the positive change in your life. So when you put those three together, or when you actually finish those statements, those sentences, you come up with your own personal affirmation. Something that is true to you and you alone, and something that you can use whenever you feel that you need that motivation. So my challenge to you all is to finish off those statements. The I am, I can, and I will. So what will those statements look like after you're done with them? And that becomes something that's truly personal to you. Okay? And again, these are just some people, I'm sure you know of others, who have worked hard over the course of their careers and have become successful because of it. Thomas Edison has stated that it's not that he failed at creating the light bulb over 5,000 times. He just found over 5,000 ways it doesn't work until he came up with the one way that it did. And then now we all benefit from it. Michael Jordan has said time and time again that he's failed over and over, but that's why he's successful, because he continues to work hard at what it is that he's doing. Even Henry Ford. Henry Ford came up with, or failed 19 times before coming up with the Model T, which was the first production line car in America. But again, all those people, all those things just tell you that no matter how many times you may fail, don't look at it as a failure. It's just one step closer to your ultimate success. And that's what the ultimate message is with that. Now, how do you measure success? Look on page 4 real quick. In the middle of page 4, on the back, you're going to see a series of statements. Just take about 30 seconds to read through each statement and then check off whether you agree or disagree with them. Very simple. So just read each statement and then check off whether you agree with the statement or you disagree with the statement. You have to choose one or the other. You can't put both. And don't worry, there's no right or wrong answer to it. Again, it's what you believe. Because, as I said before, success is personal. How you measure success or what you think of success is going to be different than how the person next to you thinks of it and how they measure it and how they look to work towards it. If you continue to look on that page, towards the bottom of that page, you're going to see the barriers to success. Frustration. I'm sure some of you have experienced that in your lives, especially when you're first learning the game of basketball. It's first dribbling with one hand and then learning to dribble with your offhand. How long it took you to do that, how frustrated you became. Sometimes there's that fear of failure or even the fear of success. And you may be thinking, how can somebody have a fear of success? I thought success was the ultimate. That's what you're supposed to be getting. Well, it is possible. How many people have heard of Dave Chappelle, the comedian? Okay, he had his own show at one point. Well, after a couple of seasons, the network decided to extend his contract and give him $50 million to continue. Well, that's where everybody wants to be. That was the ultimate in success when it comes to talk shows. But with success comes a higher level of expectation. And that was a level he wasn't ready for. So he disappeared for a while, for a couple of years. And everybody was wondering what happened. Well, he just cracked. Well, he had that fear of success because with that came more responsibility and higher expectations and things. And he figured, well, what if I can't live up to those? What if I can't be that funny anymore? What if I have to do this and that? So that can paralyze some people, and you get that fear of success. You're full of unsupportive people. I'm sure a lot of you now have people telling you things that you can't do. Well, you shouldn't be thinking about that because nobody goes into that area. It's too difficult to get into, to play basketball as a female or to do certain things. So you're going to have some unsupportive people in your lives. But again, those are just barriers that you need to find a way to overcome. You may need to start cutting people off. That's a difficult decision to make sometimes, but in order for you to get to where you want to go and where you believe you need to go, that's something that's going to happen. So, in summary, to wrap things up, I know you all have to get your minds together for your next game. These are the things that, in order for you to become successful, whatever it is you're going to do, whether it's, again, getting into college, going into your career field, or even just to get out of high school, you want to keep these things in mind. You want to determine what your ultimate destination is. You want to develop your purpose. You want to set some goals, some strategies to meet those goals, and then ultimately take action. Put that plan into motion as opposed to just talking about it all the time. And then evaluate your progress. Have those checkpoints along the way to make sure that you're on the right track to where it is you want to go. Once you're able to do all those things, you will definitely be well on your way to becoming successful. Because no one becomes successful by accident. And as they say, it often takes years to become an overnight sensation. So thank you all for coming in this afternoon. And I wish you all lucky in your next game.
And what's your name, brother?
Kevin Boston Hill.
Yes, sir. Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I know the feeling. Thank you.
At least you don't have to look up that phone, like me.
I'll take pen.
I'm about to get pen.
You're going to take my pen too?
It's a good pen. Do you live on Long Island?
I'm sorry?
Do you live on Long Island?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I go to Roosevelt. Well, we go to Roosevelt.
Mr. You
And
took
it's
it.
this
I got it already? Okay.
organization at my school. It's called like FAA.
Mm-hmm.
It stands for Future Writers Association of America, something
Yes.
like that. And it's like where people who graduate from our school, they come back and talk to us about like life experience and stuff like that. And did you go to Roosevelt?
No, I did not.
Probably
I did.
not, but
No, I did not go to Roosevelt.
Like it would be really good if you would be able to come to our school and talk about this because this was like really good. And I think it would be, yeah.
So you know what? I do have a card. I do have a business card. So you can, I guess you can pass it along to your council. Sure.
One as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then they can get in contact with me and,
Okay.
and we see what we can do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Very good, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So one of your teammates left the jacket.
One of you girls have the jacket in here? One of you girls have the jacket in here? I'll leave it by the desk by Martha.
Okay.
By Martha, she'll figure it out.
All right. Thank you.